What's up, everybody? And turn it back in. God damn, what's wrong with the lighting in this place, man? Hold up. And I guess I gotta hold it like this, man. But anyways, what's going on, man? What's going on? It's been a minute. Back another video. Y'all need to stay tuned, man. Y'all need to stay tuned. I got a lot of big things coming. Matter of fact, I already did a lot of moves. So I got a lot of videos that are gonna be rolling out fast and furious. So y'all stay tuned for that. Well, anyways, I'm gonna get right into this, man. You know, I've had this car now for about I think it's actually close to like 3 years now that I've had it. So not quite 3 years, but you know, I've had it for a while, pretty much. And I figure, you know, why not I just do a quick what's it called, like a 2-year review, like that. You know, just kind of, you know, go over, kind of like summarize what the last, you know, 2+ years with this car has been. If y'all new to the channel, it's Dan 300. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I got an 05 Chrysler 300C. Like I said, I've had it for almost 3 years now. I gotta check my notes, man. I don't want to forget anything. But yeah. So I bought this car. I think it had about 145,000 miles when I got it, about, you know, almost 3 years ago. So it's been pretty much, you know, reliable. It hasn't really given me a lot of problems. Obviously, there's been some minor stuff here and there, but yeah. But anyways, we're gonna get into it real quick, man, and let's get it. So I'm gonna first start about talking about like the things that broke, and at the end of this video, I'm gonna do a kind of like how to, like, you know, with this car, you know, with the engine, it could be a little bit sensitive, so there's a lot of things you gotta be careful about. So I'll do like some tips of like how to like keep your car running good, especially with a Hemi. So if you have a Gen 1 Hemi, 05 to 07, you're gonna want to watch it. If you got a Charger, Magnum, 300, yeah, it's gonna apply to you. So watch it. But anyways, we're gonna talk about some of the things that broke. When I got the car initially, the radio. So this one has the stupid nav thing. So that wasn't working when I got it. That mirror right there was kind of busted, so I had to replace those. Those weren't a big deal, so I just swapped those out real quick. Maintenance wise, I think the first problem I had was my thermostat was leaking. So the thermostat housing was leaking fluid. So I think there's a gasket in there that just went bad. So I just ended up, I fixed it obviously, but I ended up just changing the thermostat while I was in there. I put a 180 thermostat in there because that's actually the older one. The auto parts store, they only had a 180 at the time. If you don't know, the stock thermostat on this car is 203, which is crazy high. But so I just threw a 180 there. I mean, it doesn't really matter unless you tune the fans anyways, but that's all they had, so I threw it in there. It's been just fine. Second problem I had was oh yeah, I started the car started misfiring. I started having crazy misfire. Like, it was really bad. If y'all watch my channel a lot, I already documented all this stuff in the past. So if you want more information in depth of like all these problems and like how I fixed it, just, you know, check my my videos in the past, and everything is all documented there. So if you're even watching my channel, all this stuff shouldn't be new to you, but it's just for, like, you know, new people. So but yeah, I had a misfire going on. I still kind of haven't fixed the issue. So what I ended up finding out was the problem was my MDS. My MDS, for some reason, was just making the car misfire. And if you don't know what the MDS is, it's the system in this Hemi that basically shut down 4 cylinders while you're cruising. So it's gonna shut out 4 cylinders, and it's gonna only run on 4 cylinders. And then after a few, I don't know how many seconds, the ones that are running will get shut down, and the ones that were shut down will wake up and kind of switch up. And that was just to, you know, save gas basically, but it doesn't really save much gas, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if because it has like solenoids in the engine, so I don't know, maybe that's bad. But there's a plug in the back for the MDS system. So I noticed when I unplugged it, there's no misfire in there. It says it's unplugged now. I've had it unplugged for since basically, I don't know when I had that problem, maybe like a year ago or something. And it's been running fine ever since. No misfire at all. So So it's not really fixed. It's just, you know, and I don't really care about the MBS anyways. Like I said, it doesn't really save much gas to begin with. So I just left that unplugged. I'll show y'all. It's pretty easy if you want to disable your MDS. That's probably the cheapest way to do it. Or you can get a Diablo tuner and tune it out, shut it off in there. That's what most people do, but I just unplugged mine and shit's been running fine ever since. But while I was trying to diagnose that misfire, I did end up replacing my valve cover gasket because I had to take out the valve covers because I was worried that one of the spring was broken, like the valve spring, and maybe that was causing my misfire. But obviously that wasn't the issue, so I changed the valve cover gaskets. That was pretty easy. Another problem that I still kind of have also is the oil pressure sensor. When I got the car, I had a check engine light for oil pressure sensor. That's actually another easy fix, but you know, it doesn't really affect the way the car drives, and I'm just lazy. I mean, I could do this shit right now, but I really want to. The part's actually pretty cheap. It's like, I think like $30 at AutoZone, but I just said fuck it, man. I ain't doing it. Maybe I'll do it eventually, but it doesn't really affect the car. Still drives fine. It doesn't really affect anything. Yeah, that's still there. I already talked about the thermostat. Oh, and then the last one. This one's actually pretty recent. I had to just recently had to replace my crank sensor. So this is just a few weeks ago. So I think my last 2 videos or so. But basically what happened there was the car just started stalling, man. I mean, it wasn't frequent. It would stall one time, and then it would drive fine for like 2 weeks, and then it would stall again. And then, you know, I was like, okay, something's going on. Because every time it stalled, you know, turn it back on and it would run fine and I would drive it. Although there was one time it stalled, I tried to restart it. It didn't start. I think I had to restart. I had to crank it like 5 times before it actually started. So that was when I was like, okay, I need to see what's going on. And it threw a code for basically, I mean, the car basically told me what was wrong. It threw a code for a crank sensor. So I ended up fixing that. Like I said, I just did that not too long ago. So it's my recent video. If you want my information on that, how to change it, it's pretty easy. Yeah, it's pretty easy. I mean, you don't have to like crawl under. If you got an all-wheel drive car, yours is gonna be a little bit tricky from what I heard because of the front differential or whatever is up there. But for my rear-wheel drive car, it was pretty easy. Did it real quick. And that was it, man. And it's crazy because that crank sensor, I was actually gonna take this car down to Kentucky. I was planning on a road trip. I was gonna see my brother. He lives there. I was gonna drive all the way down there. I think it's like a 14-hour drive or something. And then not like a week before I was gonna make that drive, that was when the car started stalling out. So it's like, I'm glad it happened the time it did, because if it didn't, imagine me driving 14 hours away and then like 6 hours into the drive, the car just starts stalling in the middle of nowhere, man. That would have fucking sucked, man. So yeah, I ended up, you know, I didn't make the I didn't go on the road trip anymore. So, but yeah, I fixed the sensor and then it's been running fine ever since. Not a single stalling issue. So happy about that. Honestly, that's pretty much it, man. That's everything for the past, you know, almost 3 years that I've owned this car now. That's everything that I've had to, things that are broken and things that I've had to fix. It's been pretty reliable, man. It's been pretty reliable. I mean, you know, almost 3 years. I've only driven it about 17,000 miles, which I don't know if that's a lot or not. So I haven't actually driven it like a lot. But you know, it does. You know, I do drive it every now and then. So, but yeah, it's been pretty reliable, man. You know, just, you know, this cars, you know, they're pretty reliable, man. You know, if you're my OG, some of my OG subscribers would know I had an 07 300. I think I had like 200 and almost 230,000 miles on that car, and then the engine blew. So hopefully, well, I don't know if I'm gonna have to keep this car that long, anyways. But yeah, it's pretty reliable as long as, you know, you do your stuff, you know, keep up on your maintenance and all that shit. Yeah, you should be good. What else? And then I'll walk around. I'll show you some things I've done. The car's pretty much stock. I don't race it. I don't do anything. I just drive it to work. And if I gotta go shopping or anything, I don't do anything crazy with it. So You know, I got obviously different wheels. You see my videos, I put the halos on there. Straight pipe exhausts. That's pretty much it, man. That's, you know, I don't want to do anything crazy with this car. But yeah, that's about it, man. That's about it. So now that that's done, I'm gonna talk about some things specifically with the Hemi that you should kind of like look out for if you own one of these cars, especially if your car has like higher mileage. My car right now, I think it's like 162,000 miles, something like that. So if you have a Hemi from this gen, you know, the things that you really want to watch out for. The biggest thing you want to look out for is the cooling system. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go outside and we're gonna talk about this outside real quick. Stepping outside. Let me make sure the door's unlocked. Yeah, those are the wheels I was talking about. Got the halos on green. But yeah, man. So yeah, that's the thermostat I was talking. The thermostat literally in there, right here. There's 1, 2, those 2 bolts. Just remove it. Thermostat is in there. Pretty easy. That's probably one of the easiest things you can do. Obviously, make sure the car is cold. But yeah, the biggest thing you want to look for in this Hemi is the biggest maintenance item is probably the cooling system. Okay, so you know, check your coolants. The car is warm, obviously. I drove it here, but when it's cold in the morning, when it's sat overnight, you want to check this level. Okay, it doesn't have to be at the max, but it has to be in between the max and the minimum levels, like down there. So if it's anywhere between here, then you're good. Okay, so make sure your coolant is good. Make sure your thermostat is good. The easiest way you know if your thermostat is bad is most likely you get a check engine light. I don't know what the code is, but you get a check engine light, because sometimes the thermostat will get stuck open or will get stuck closed. If it gets stuck closed, your car is probably going to run very hot. It might even overheat. So if your engine is running hot, that's the first thing you want to check. One of the first things you want to check for sure. Because you don't want to run this engine hot, man. That's why the cooling system is the #1 thing. The other thing also is the water pump. It's kind of hard to see, but the water pump is right here. It's literally in front. That's the pulley for it. This intake is kind of in the way, but it's literally this big thing right here. You can see that tube. I don't know if y'all can see that tube right there, but it goes into the water pump. I haven't had to replace mine, but like I say, yeah, this whole thing is the water pump. But the easiest way to know if this goes bad, it literally will start leaking. So if you notice any leak in like the front, you'll see like coolant dripping. Sometimes it leak like right here. So once it starts leaking, that's a sign you probably got to change your water pump pretty soon. So but yeah, those are the biggest things, honestly, because with these engines, man, you don't want to run it hot. You don't want to run it hot, man. If you run it hot one time is too many. It's gonna drop a valve. That's how I lost my last engine. I didn't overheat it, but there were times that I ran it hot. So you want to make sure your cooling system is up to par. Coolant is good, thermostat is good, water pump is good. And then yeah, and just keep monitoring the temp, man. So I still got to do a better job with this. The wiring for the halos, it's kind of looks crazy. But yeah, oh yeah, let me show y'all the MDS plug, guys. It's gonna be really hard to see it. I don't even know where it is. It's somewhere back here. It's kind of hot, but I don't want to touch it. But there's a plug in there. It kind of goes like into the block. I'll see if I can post a clip of it. I don't want to put my hand in there because it's hot. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, let's go back inside. We're back in the car. So yeah, just, you know, make sure the cooling system is good. That's the biggest thing with these cars, because when they run really hot, that valve is gonna fall down, and when that valve falls down, the piston is gonna smash it. Your engine goes bye-bye. So biggest thing, like, you don't, not just overheating it, but if you let it run really hot, it's not good. Okay. Now I'm gonna show you another thing that you should probably be doing. If you have a Hemi, if you're kind of familiar with this car, you probably noticed already. But another thing you can do, I'm not gonna have it running now. I just have the key on. But yeah, one thing also you can do is you wanna use this page. So if you don't know how to get to this page right here, I can't do it with 2 hands. But what you want to do is you're gonna hold down this music icon button. You want to hold this down, and you want to hold this down at the same time. So hold those two buttons down at the same time, and then you should see like almost like a secret menu pop up. I don't know what the default page is, but the menu will pop up right there, and then you can use those arrows to like change the different stuff on the screen. So I'm not sure what all those things are, but the page you want to go to is, so you just keep scrolling, and this page right here, this is where you want to be. Okay, so this shows you your speed, your digital speed, RPM. I don't know why you need that digital, but anyways. But the most important one here is the engine temperature. All right, so right now it's 206. I said I just drove it, so it's still a little bit warm. So that's the one you want to pay attention to. Don't use this gauge, okay? This gauge, I mean, it's, obviously if it goes up there, then it's pretty hot. But you really want to pay attention to this. If this starts going up to like, 220 degrees, that's still within the normal range. Even, I think I heard some people say like even 230 degrees is still somewhat normal. But I mean, if you start going up to like 230, if you start going over 230, like like 232, like 240, like, yeah, that's definitely way too hot. Yeah, temperature shouldn't be that high, because even if that gets up to like 240, this needle is probably gonna be like, somewhere there. It's not gonna quite be at the hot side. But yeah, if you're going over 230, 220, I'm gonna start looking at it. But if it starts going above 220, 230, then yeah, you should probably shut it off, and most likely you got something going on. Either your fans are not working, thermostat is bad, or something is going on. So mine normally runs, I think the max this normally will go to is around, for me, it's like, I want to say it's like 217, 219, and then usually we just, once it get up to like 219, it just drops back down to like 215. And obviously that's going to depend on if you have the AC on or not. Actually, for me, when I run the car with the AC, it actually runs a little bit cooler than if I don't have the AC on, which kind of makes sense, because if you run the car with the AC on, the fans are always going to be on. Whereas if you don't run it without the AC, the fan will only come on when it needs to come on. So I actually I get lower temperatures when I run my AC. So but yeah, just monitor that page. That's it, man. That's it. Let's shut this up. Now the last thing is, just use the recommended fuel. So this cars, they recommend 89. I see a lot of people out here running it on 87, low grade, all that cheap fuel. Don't put your fuel on this cars. Spend extra money. If you check the owner's manual, it clearly says recommended fuel 89. Okay, if they recommend 89, they recommend it for a reason. Okay, so run 89 fuel. Don't be cheap. If you put 87 in it, it's gonna run, yeah, but most likely you're gonna be down on some power a little bit, and why risk it? Just run 89. Obviously check your just general stuff. Check your fluids, check your engine oil. These cars are not known for leaking fluids. It doesn't really leak oil, doesn't burn oil or anything, but once every week or every other week, check your fluids, make sure everything is good. And it's really not much with this cars, man. Honestly, it's like, if you take care of it, you're not doing anything crazy, you're not racing it all the time, all this shit. Like, the car lasts pretty long, man. It will last pretty good, and you shouldn't have a lot of problems with it. But that being said, man, it's getting hot, man. I need to turn my AC on, but that's all I got, man. That's all I got for this video. I hope this was helpful to some of you guys out there. But yeah, I'm gonna be back with some more videos. I got a big one coming up next. But yeah, man, like and subscribe, man. Dan Trinidad. I'm out, man. I'll see you on the next one.